and just work my way down. Again, I'm avoiding the area where the wing slides in. We don't want to glue that area right here yet until the wing gets slitted. Go from the wing slot forward, spray it, hold it and press it in there, wait for it to set up, check it, make sure it's square, press, check it, glue the other side. Good. We'll go ahead and start pressing it in the back here. I don't see any gap really, so should be no problem. Again, we'll lay a bead from the back all the way up to the wing slot. Right to there. Press it in. Check it, sight down it, make sure that guy looks square. You know, if you need to work it back and forth to get it straight, go ahead and do so. Gonna give it a light squirt. Press it. Keep checking it and just add a little bit more accelerator. It's looking good. Now we'll go ahead and glue the bottom. Looks good. Keep pressing and checking. Make sure you don't get any runs. Looks like most of it's set up now. It takes a while for that stuff to set up, so you have to kind of watch it and make sure you don't set it down too early and let it run on you and get a big glue blob. Looks like it's all skinned over good. Okay, our next step is going to be hinging the elevator. We're going to go ahead and pull off this tape here. I'm going to pull the tape off that's on the hinge line, but I'm going to keep the tape that's holding the counterbalances down. I'm going to keep that on there for now. And I'll just take my blender, my 1-inch blender, pull a nice stretch here and lay it right over the center of that hinge line. Nice and gentle. Lay that tape down nice and flat. I'm going to cut right up through that counterbalance, and without getting on the foam, I'm pulling the tape off of the foam and cutting it. Go ahead and rub that down. I'm also going to cut off this end here too. A little bit of fingerprints are stuck on that end of that tape. So if you can see, I'm holding that tape up off the foam, starting right in that counterbalance. With a sharp knife, it'll cut right through that tape without touching the foam. We'll go ahead and gently rub it all down and then progressively rub it harder and harder and harder until it becomes transparent, or mostly transparent. Now we can remove the tape holding the counterbalances on, like so. And we got our hinge. Now I'm going to cut through this little square hole in the back, the alignment hole. Remove that piece of tape. I'm going to fold the elevator upon itself like that. I'm going to place another strip of Blenderm along the elevator, cutting it short of the counterbalance. And it's shy of this spar. It's about 3 millimeters on the foam right there. And I'm going to rub it with my thumb onto the first 45-degree bevel. Make sure it's stuck to the whole thing, and then slowly work it right back like that. And that pinches it to the other 45. Use my thumb, roll, make sure the tape is pressed down, and then roll my thumb over to the elevator side. There's your hinge. Again, I'll have to cut that little square hole out and clear that tape out of there. And clear the tape that may be in the elevator slot there. Clear that tape out. Okay, there's the elevator hinged. Now we want to hinge one of the ailerons to the wing. And it doesn't matter which one, but just do one for now. I'm going to go ahead and lay the tape down on the aileron, half on the aileron and half hanging over. Flip it over and cut off the excess. And lining up the print here, and I flex the aileron up just a little bit, and I start on one side and stick it down, say over here, and then I lay this side down, watching this side, and then keeping that gap right at 0. So I lay it down, lining up the print. I'll tack it slightly, and I move this back and forth, getting that gap to 0, and then I slowly just lay that aileron down, just like that. And now from the center, I really lightly wipe out, very lightly, not to create a bubble. And then a little bit more pressure, and a little more, and then a little more. And now it's pretty well stuffed. You won't create a bubble. You can rub it down good. And again, I'll clear that little hole here for the counterbalance. You don't need to do this on the other models that don't have the side force generators. We won't have that hole there. Again, flip the aileron over. We're going to stick about 3 millimeters onto the aileron, 3 millimeters worth of tape. 3 to 4. And I just guess it. It doesn't have to be exact. Less than 6. So again, we'll just, with our thumb, right down to the first 45-degree bevel. Make sure it's stuck to that well. Grab the aileron and just fold it over like that. Use my thumb to rub it down to the other 45, and then to the bottom of the wing. There's the hinge. Go ahead and remove this tape here from this hole. And now we have the wing ready to slide into the fuselage. Let's go ahead and put the firewall on the fuselage now. I'm going to open this packet up. Dump all the contents out. Make sure you have everything I showed you on that cardboard plate. And what we're going to need now is the firewall and the firewall supports. These guys right here. The balsa wood and the plywood firewall. Take the cleanest side of the firewall. We're going to go ahead and put it to the front by laying it right into the slots. There. It'll drop right in, like so. And I do this by holding the fuselage vertical. And I'll put the glue on the foam, and I'll spray the back of the firewall, and then just go ahead and drop it right on. But you may want to go ahead and hold off on the accelerator first if you're not comfortable with it. If it doesn't feel like it's going to go on straight, and go ahead and set it on there on the CA with no accelerator, give you more time for lineup. But this one looks like it's going to lay on there. You know, it's just dropped in there perfect, and real nice and tight. It fits in there just right. It's going to be no problem. Now, again, foam safe CA. Put it right on the 4 spots where it makes contact with the foam. And you can go ahead and just drop it on there dry, or like so.